Madonna took the Cannes Film Festival by storm. She's knocked Tokyo on its ear and left New York and Hollywood trembling in her wake. Today, she tackled Evansville, Indiana. Whether it's Cannes, New York, or Hollywood, Madonna creates a wild whirlwind of press and fans wherever she goes. Now the queen of controversy has descended on the quiet Midwestern town of Evansville, Indiana, while filming the baseball movie A League of Their Own.
No, the root beer floats are awesome. Very good.
At a press conference this morning, Madonna appeared along with co-stars Gina Davis and Tom Hanks, as well as director Penny Marshall. But it was the Material Girl who stole the lion's share of the spotlight.
Sure. 1, 2, 3. Yes. I like it.
The film is about a women's baseball team in 1943. Madonna is a baseball player with a sharp tongue and a fast reputation. She says the role fits her like a glove.
She has a great appetite for men. Life.
Madonna was asked about an ad in the local Evansville Courier newspaper in which a pastor invited her to visit his church since she's the world's most famous sinner.
Yeah, but I'm on to the new ad in the paper where the guy invited me to have coffee in the coffee shop.
Did you call?
No, I haven't. I'm waiting for a really lonely weekend.
The press may have been excited by Madonna's presence, but out in downtown Evansville, the locals we talked to were rather less emotional.
I listen to her music, but I don't care that much to see her, so it doesn't bother, you know.
She's okay. Ask her what color her hair is.
Well, it's never dull when she's around. A League of Their Own will hit theaters next summer in the middle of the 1992 baseball season.
Country superstar Dolly Parton has taken time out of her busy schedule to sit down and kick back for a candid conversation with Entertainment Tonight's special correspondent Nancy Collins. She talked about everything from her special arrangement with husband Carl Dean to her affair with the tabloids.
I try to read them because I want to know what they think I'm doing. And a lot of the stuff, I have to honestly say, is based on some thread of truth, a lot of it. But they totally distort it, or they have to write that certain way. And then sometimes there's just stuff that's just totally out there, and I have to laugh. I think, well, who sits around and thinks this up? It's like jokes. But the tabloids, I'm the queen of the tabloids, and it's almost like I'm getting kind of proud of it. It's like there's nothing I can do about it.
I would like to talk a little bit about Carl because I find it so fascinating. You met him the first day you arrived in Nashville.
In 1964.
At the Wishy-Washy Laundromat?
Yeah. And I always make the joke, it's been wishy-washy ever since.
I found it interesting that you would get married because that might have held you back, you know?
We were married for a couple of years before anybody knew it because at that time, I was working with a record label, Monument Records, and Fred Foster was the head of the label. And, you know, he'd said to me, I don't want you to get married because that's going to be detrimental to your career, and we're spending a lot of money here and a lot of time. And I said, okay. So I went that weekend and got married. And I was married for 2 years before anybody knew it. That's how private Carl is, and that's how private our lives have been.
They've called this over the years an open marriage, and that you can both, I guess, are free to have other romances if you want. Is this true?
Well, we are definitely free to have them, whether we do or not.
Uh-huh. That always sounds so great, the idea of the open marriage, but does it actually work in practicality?
Well, people have placed those terms on that. I mean, if he has an affair, I don't want to know it. If I have one, I'm sure he wouldn't want to know it. So it's not like something we discuss, like, oh, who was you with this week? Or who are you going to be with next week? Or how was the last one you was with? It is not like that. Our life is very private. We don't even, those kind of conversations don't even go through our daily conversations.
What about children? Did you decide not to have children, or?
Well, I couldn't have children. We didn't try or not try, and it just never happened. And now, I used to be bothered by it, thinking that I should have children because all women do, and my sisters did, and this and that, and, you know, that was the thing to do, is to have a child to leave your things to, or to teach, or whatever. It didn't happen. And so I think all things work out the way they're meant to, and I have a very spiritual outlook on life, and I just accept things that I don't understand.
Aren't your parents just flabbergasted by your success?
I think my parents are proud for me and my success because they know that's what I wanted. I think as all parents, I think they probably worry about me working too hard, about death threats, and about all the things that go along with being a celebrity. But it's been very hard for me, and I've lived with a lot of guilt.
I don't think of Dolly Parton as a guilty person, a person who has guilt.
Well, my guilt is based on the love of other people, just like I was saying. It's like, if I feel guilty if I think I've worried my people. If I've worried my mom and daddy, or they're or somebody's calling them in the middle of the night saying that I've been killed on a bus, and they get all kinds of crank calls and things that really, you know, worry them. Well, I mean, why you would have to feel guilty if you have any heart and soul.
About 5 years ago, you said the best thing I ever did was turn 40.
Well, it was coming anyway, so I might as well have enjoyed it. I mean, of course, we'd all love to be 21 forever and look beautiful forever, but it's inevitable. We're going to get old. We're going to get older. I just hope that I can be productive, and I'll always look as good as I can for the way that I look. I'll do whatever. And,
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, whatever it takes, but it's really...
Plastic surgery?
More, well, I would do plastic surgery. Anything it takes to make me feel comfortable, I would do it, and I'll probably never graduate from college.
Next up for Dolly Parton, she's starring in a made-for-TV movie with Gary Busey and Willie Nelson. The title is Wild Texas Wind, and it will air on NBC later on this month. On our Inside Story tomorrow, actor Dan Haggerty, TV's Grizzly Adams, talks for the first time from a hospital bed about his wild life off camera.
Knock me down. You live with a 10-foot bear that weighs 1,800 pounds. I'm not going to let a bunch of people knock me around.
For the rough and tumble private life of Dan Haggerty, the Inside Story tomorrow here on Entertainment Tonight.
Coming up next, a Today Show co-host rediscovers what early really means. Plus, Richard Pryor is the focus of an emotional celebrity tribute. And later in the Heart File, a former child actor is going flat out to win a different kind of fame.
Oh, boy. Somebody must think we're special because we got Post Raisin Bran. It's premium.
Premium?
Tastes great, right? Because Post only picks the big, plump raisins, not little ones.
No way.
Those big, crispy flakes. Look close.
Looks bumpy.
Well, that's a natural whole wheat in the wheat brand. Somebody sure must think we're special.
It's our mommy.
Post Raisin Bran. It's premium, and that makes everybody feel like somebody special.
Introducing new Tylenol Allergy Sinus Gel Caps. Because allergies can be more than watery eyes, more than itching, more than sneezing. Many come with sinus pressure and pain. But the leading allergy brand has only an antihistamine. Tylenol Allergy Sinus has more. A decongestant and a pain reliever to relieve all your allergy symptoms. It's more complete relief. Tylenol Allergy Sinus. Allergy relief clear to your sinuses.
Pacific Linen always has outstanding selection, quality, and values. And now, during the Best of the Best White Sale, we're featuring the Caro Step White Goose Down Comforter from Hollander. Filled with luxurious white goose down and finished with a high thread count cover. It's a fantastic value at only $99.99 all sizes. From Northern Feather, white goose feather and down pillows, just $6.99 all sizes. The Best of the Best White Sale, going on now at Pacific Linen.
More picante sauce.
Wait. This ain't paste picante sauce.
No, it's paste thick and chunky salsa. Big chunks of tomatoes, onions, and peppers. Perfect for dipping. And it's got something no other thick and chunky salsa has, the great taste of paste. So try paste thick and chunky in mild, medium, and hot.
Who was that pitchman anyway? I don't know. But he left us this.
Pick up the thick and chunky one. Pick up the paste.
Today's Show co-host Katie Couric took a 2.5-month break from the show for the birth of her daughter Ellie. This morning she returned and NBC cranked up that publicity machine to let everybody know that she is back.
Katie, I'm really glad to see you back.
I'm glad to see you.
I saw a commercial that you were coming back.
I mean, there have been some promos about that?
There had been lots of promos. Katie Couric's return to the Today Show following a 10-week maternity leave had been heavily promoted by NBC.
Hi, Katie. Welcome back.
And this morning was Katie's first day back.
I was a little bit apprehensive. It was sort of like the first day of school. I was a little nervous and a little excited and hoping that people weren't expecting me to part the Red Sea or something after all the promotion.
As for the 4:15 a.m. wake-up calls that her job requires, Couric says her baby daughter has kept her in practice for that.
it was pretty easy getting up this morning because I've been doing it all summer long.
Who is that?
Fantastic.
Okay.
And now for the difficult task of balancing motherhood and career. Katie says she is ready.
The Today Show is a pretty good gig for raising a family because here you can sort of leave at a reasonable hour. I think I'll probably be heading home around noon, and I'll be able to spend a lot of time with Ellie, so I think that I'll really be able to balance both careers.
Welcome back, Katie. Katie says that she was nervous until she heard, quote, Willard babbling. Then she knew everything would be all right.
In the 1960s, Richard Pryor shocked audiences with his bold, profane humor, and he paved the way for dozens of today's most popular comedians. Those stars joined other Hollywood celebrities this weekend in an emotional tribute to Pryor, his first public appearance since he underwent a triple bypass heart operation.
Oh, my God!
Saturday's event was a complete and wonderful night for Richard Pryor.
Damn it, they said he wasn't going to be.
He was overwhelmed at this photo session of his oldest and dearest friends as some of the biggest names in Hollywood paid tribute to him at a television party for Richard Pryor.
Richard was genuinely so touched when he came in the room. And because of it, I think all of us fell apart.
Oh, my God. You got me.
Many of the celebrities at the multiple sclerosis gathering believe that Pryor, who was diagnosed with MS in 1986, is a comedy pioneer.
Every time I ask somebody, who's your idol? From Billy Crystal to Robin Williams to Eddie Murphy to you name it, they'll say Richard.
Richard's daughter, Rain, thinks the tribute to her father has been a long time in coming.
It's about time that my dad has gotten recognized for all that he's contributed.
The evening was organized by producer George Slaughter, who got a phone call from Richard Pryor's biggest admirer.
Eddie Murphy called me and said, hey, what do you think? Why don't we have a party for Richard? And we said, okay, so we were going to have a party for Richard, and then CBS called and said, if you're going to do a party for Richard, we want to do it as a television show.
It was a big moment when Murphy introduced Pryor, who was escorted in by boxers Muhammad Ali, Thomas Hearns, George Foreman, and Sugar Ray Leonard, and trainer Chevy Chase. He was near tears with all the love and support from his friends.
I love you, Richard, because without you, there's no me, brother. I just want you to know that.
A party for Richard Pryor is scheduled to air September 28th on CBS.
Leslie Nielsen plays Lieutenant Frank Drebin in the Naked Gun comedies, but now he's having a change of heart. This time around, Nielsen is giving up slapstick for romance, and Betty White is the object of his affections.
Which of these two do you like better, this one or this one?
Definitely this one.
This one. Well,
there are many humorous moments for Leslie Nielsen in this new film, but unlike so much of his recent work, there's also a serious side, giving him a chance to play a romantic lead. Betty White is a widow who's lost her zest for life until Nielsen enters the picture.
the way I look at it, of course, this is not a heavy dramatic role, but any role other than Frank Drebin is what I consider to be a serious role. But we're having a lot of fun doing this, and it's kind of, it's a light movie, and it's sentimental, and it's very romantic. Tonight, for dinner.
Oh, why the hell not?
This is the first time they've worked together. Betty White says she must be on her guard because Nielsen's always playing practical jokes on the set.
He is such a fibber. You don't believe anything Leslie Nielsen says, Shirley, except how good his movie is, because I believe that too. But he is in control of every situation.
That control was not evident as Nielsen faced a dancing scene with Betty, but as usual, his famous sense of humor took center stage.
Betty will save me. She better save me. She better save herself. Maybe that's it. Man overboard, abandon ship.
And don't call me Shirley. A Change of Heart will air later this season on NBC.
Actress Betty White is also an author. She has written a story about a dog who changed the lives of two families. It's in bookstores this week, and we have a preview of it in a new segment on our show called Coming Attractions. The new book is about a remarkable golden retriever named Dinah that Betty White adopted. Before living out its final years with Betty, Dinah served for 9 years as the eyes of blind performer Tom Sullivan. Both say Dinah was more than a pet.
We just both grew gray together, except that I didn't show it, and she did.
And I don't notice it.
Coming to newsstands tomorrow, an exclusive interview with Kiefer Sutherland in Details magazine. Kiefer breaks the silence about his romance with Julia Roberts and talks about the bitterness he felt when she broke off their relationship just days before their marriage. It's anniversary week on CBS for The Price is Right. The game show is marking its 20th year on television with highlights from the past, including some embarrassing moments.
I think that there was excitement the first day we did Price is Right, and there's still excitement.
Since its premiere, The Price is Right has given away nearly $100 million in prizes to more than 32,000 contestants. On NBC tonight, Los Angeles disc jockeys Mark Thompson and Brian Phelps introduce their new TV series. In tonight's episode, Mark and Brian sing with the Temptations.
I say to myself.
The Adventures of Mark and Brian has not been a hit with critics, but perhaps viewers will make the final decision. And continuing tonight through Wednesday on the Arts and Entertainment Channel, the documentary series Dinosaur. USA Today called the program engaging and likely to intrigue kids and satisfy parents. Walter Cronkite is host.
Have been found 2,000 miles away.
Even if you're not an A&E subscriber, you can watch the series. Dinosaur is available on home video from the cable channel for $69.95.
Next, a child star on the fast track to new success.
Who'd like Arby's 5 for $5 roast beef deal? A family of 5 from Chickasaw, Maine. The Binghamton Quintuplets. 5 bathing beauties. 2 lovely couples and a 5th wheel. Arby's 5 for $5 deal. 5 delicious Arby's roast beef sandwiches for just $5. Tender, slow-roasted, lean roast beef piled high on a sesame seed bun. Get 5 Arby's roast beef sandwiches for only $5. A really different deal for 5 hula dancers, 5 synchronized swimmers, and the 5-man Jubilee Band.
When protecting Oregon's valuable forests, nothing is left to chance. Forest landowners are bound by over 100 stringent regulations within the Oregon Forest Practices Act, which applies to public and private lands. Many regulations relate to logging practices, protecting watersheds, wildlife, and forest productivity. Others apply to post-logging activities, governing slash disposal and enforcing reforestation. The Oregon Forest Practices Act, protecting the forest environment for all Oregonians.
Commitment, a word that Stimson Lumber takes quite seriously. Commitment to people. To the forest. To the future. Stimson Lumber, committed to a tradition of quality.
In Oregon, some of our most dedicated athletes will never have an agent. Never see their face on a cereal box. Never have a shoe named in their honor. But while high school sports may lack the glamour of the big time, it's still important to the thousands of kids who choose to compete, even without a contract. And at the Oregonian, that's important enough for us.
Tonight, The Heart File uncovers one of the original kids from the 70s hit show The Partridge Family. Brian Forster never really knew how to play the drums, still doesn't, in fact, but he played the part of the family drummer boy.
Mom, where can I hide basketball? I don't want Keith to play with it.
He was the tow-headed Todd who kept the beat for America's most musical TV family, the Partridges. But these days, Brian Forster is driven by the beat of a different drummer. Forster has gone from the Hollywood fast track to the racetrack as a champion driver. He says the need for speed hit him early on.
A friend of my mom's was really into racing. I remember she used to give me racing books when I was pretty young. But I think in high school is kind of when it came on. I used to do some illegal street racing, as it were, and decided that was not a good idea, and I just really love doing it. It's really fun.
That fun has landed Brian 9 first-place finishes in the last 3 years, but he admits tearing around the track can be dangerous.
I've crashed a couple times. I mean, it's the kind of a thing where you're always on the edge, and occasionally you have a spill. I've never gotten hurt. I'm really not too worried about it. Crashes do happen, but the cars are actually very safe. This is what the cars look like without the bodywork on.
When he's not behind the wheel himself, Brian often works as an instructor at a professional driving school where his students often recognize their formerly famous teacher.
I had somebody recently, I walked out of the room and I heard some student say, "Hey, do you know who that guy is? I read about him. He was Chris on the Partridge Family." And I walked back in the room and everybody got quiet and they all were looking at me and I said, okay, the word's out, I guess. Usually what happens is people recognize me, but they don't know where from. They think I went to school with their sister or something like that.
Brian says he wants to continue professional racing, but he would be up for a Partridge Family reunion if ever it were to come about. And that's an update from the Hart File.
On September 8, 1966, the Starship Enterprise set out on a 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds. Now, 25 years later, the cast of Star Trek is celebrating its silver anniversary, having survived everything from the destruction of their first ship to cancellation by the network.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
Voyages that have lasted a quarter of a century. It was 25 years ago when this first episode of Star Trek premiered. On board the Starship Enterprise, a cast of relative unknowns. Leonard Nimoy played the precise but emotionless Spock from the planet Vulcan. DeForest Kelley was Dr. Bones McCoy, and William Shatner played Captain Kirk.
The character is great fun to play. He does everything all young actors want to do. Leap around and fight and get the girl and have a dilemma.
It was a real-life dilemma when Star Trek was canceled after 3 years, but it found a devoted audience in reruns. Hardcore fans are, of course, known as Trekkies.
Fascinating.
Equally fascinating, the string of hit movies. There have been 5 Star Trek films, and Star Trek 6 is on its way. Even the emotionless Spock can get excited about that.
Spock is about the best thing that could happen to a person in a lifetime, except for my family. He's a friend, a guide, a teacher, a comfort, great source of income, all the good stuff, you know.
And if all that's not enough, witness the success of Star Trek The Next Generation. The TV series is about to launch a 5th season. It has a different cast, but apparently the magic is still there.
It is a most unusual phenomenon.
For the original cast especially, it's been one strange but wonderful ride.
Never dreaming that 25 years later I'd be sitting here talking to you about Star Trek. Just had no idea. Never in a million years.
The Star Trek 25th Anniversary Special will air later on this month. The new movie, Star Trek 6, will be in theaters on December the 13th.
To prime moviegoers for Star Trek 6, theaters around the country hosted a one-day marathon showing of the first 5 Star Trek films. And that was more than enough encouragement for Trekkies to don their costumes and buy a ticket.
For 1/4 of a century, they have thrilled us with their adventures.
It was a chance to relive all their favorite Star Trek memories, and hundreds of die-hard Trekkies flocked to the marathon screening of the adventures of the Starship Enterprise. They came dressed for the event. Many were on hand just to get a sneak peek at the new trailer for the upcoming Star Trek 6.
We've been looking forward to this, the 25th anniversary of Star Trek, and this should be a great day for us.
In New York, Jason Robards and Judith Ivey met the press as they started rehearsals for the Broadway-bound comedy Park Your Car in Harvard Yard. This is the second time they've been teamed together.
That's always helps. My father once, so I feel like I can push him around now, see, tell him what to do. That helps, yeah.
And in Anaheim, California, the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, who's vacationing in the U.S., and her 3-year-old daughter, Princess Beatrice, paid a visit to Disneyland. This is the first time a member of the British royal family has toured the Magic Kingdom.
Another wimpy sandwich.
Not me. I've got Vintage Farms Deli Loaf. It's got real sliced meat chunks.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going and go.
My husband's such a kid at heart. He gets to the end of his Lunchables, and you'd think he was going to cry. Luckily, I got him new Lunchables with pudding. Oscar Mayer Lunchables lunch combinations, now with dessert, because lunch is what you make of it.
To attain true happiness, one must strive for a higher plateau of existence, which requires the courage to explore the mind, the spirit, and the enduring acceptance of that which cannot be changed. Only then can we achieve inner peace. Of course, there's something to be said for just having lots and lots of money.
Fred Meyer invites you and your family to the greatest show on earth, the Ringling Brothers in Barnum and Bailey Circus, September 17th through the 22nd at Memorial Coliseum. Opening night, Tuesday, September 17th, is Fred Meyer Family Night. Stop by the customer information desk at your nearest Fred Meyer store and pick up a discount coupon to save $3 off the regular price. Don't miss Fred Meyer Family Night, September 17th at the greatest show on earth, the Ringling Brothers in Barnum and Bailey Circus.
A classic embroidered blouse at fine department stores, $64. Now at Ross, $32. Top name men's and women's athletic footwear at leading shoe stores, $65. Now at Ross, $35. Colorful cotton separates at fine department stores, $29. Now at Ross, $12. At Ross every day, the only difference is the price.
Air travel furnished and a promotional fee paid by Delta Airlines. Delta has ranked first in passenger satisfaction among major U.S. airlines for 17 straight years. At Delta, we love to fly, and it shows.
Celebrating birthdays today, actress Angela Cartwright turns 39. Singer Billy Preston is 45, and actor Cliff Robertson turns 66.
New birthday thing scared me a little bit. Actor Dan Haggerty had his share of close calls playing opposite a bear on TV's Grizzly Adams, but his private life has been even more exciting. We'll have the inside story tomorrow for you.
But tonight, we are going to say goodbye for this Monday with Mark and Brian's dream come true, namely singing a medley of Temptations hits. You'll enjoy it.
What can make me feel this way? My girl, I know you want me. I used to let you go. If I had to beg, come on, just say something. I don't mind. That's what you are begging, sweetheart. Please don't leave me here, 'cause you go into my life, baby, baby. Y'all gonna put your hands together like this. We gonna dance. Check it out.
Sir, your exterminating service is one of the few businesses that doesn't advertise in the GTE